we already drew to them in the Emirates, and that was a tough fixture, to be honest, because we had a lot of depleted injuries at the time. We lost to Newcastle, we lost to Bournemouth. Would you make changes for this? Would you rest? Would you make sure everyone's fully fit? Or would you look at the momentum thing and think, actually, a few of them need some game time going leading up to the game against PSG? How'd you play this one, bro?
It's a weird one, Dan, because as we keep having this conversation, we don't exactly have any bodies. It's a proper weird one. I would only like to, quote unquote, maybe they could play, but not start the game. Saka, bench. Benjamin White, let's get you some minutes because Timber looked a bit spent in that game. Let's kind of rest them. Other than that, we kind of have to go out there 9 times out of 10 with the same side, and they can't be tired. Like, look at the performance. We can't be tired. Previously, I used to be all for that, be cute and clever, rest games. As soon as it became evidently clear the Premier League is done, let's focus on the champs. But I'm on I've swing the other way now, Dan, if I'm honest with you, man. I think it's a momentum thing. I think you need to play your players and see where you're going. Odegaard will be a close one because do they take him out the firing line? Do they hope he plays and does well? Is it a chance to play Wanyeri in the Odegaard role, get some experience and whatnot in that? If you play Wanyeri in the 10 and then you want to rest Bukayo Saka, the summer signing, he's a yard man. I was supporting him, but that performance against Crystal Palace from Sterling, I don't know. For me, put Benjamin White in for Timber, take Saka out for Wanyeri, give or take. Odegaard, you got 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Wanyeri, you're going in the 10. Sterling, it is what it is. Go out there, man. And, the last stretch of games that you referred to, Anfield, I hope no pressure FC's back, so we're amazing, but that doesn't fill me with joy. We should be smashing Southampton to pieces, but me and you both know a trip to St. Mary's isn't always kind viewing to Arsenal, and Ramsdale is probably going to turn into a prime Van der Sar. Bournemouth, you want revenge. Newcastle, Eddie Howe's had our number, and I can't imagine it's going to change, man, but you never know. So, yeah, man, I think we have to go as strong as, quote unquote, we can, bar the exceptions against Bournemouth, man. I don't think it's a momentum thing. We need some sort of momentum. And to be fair, we're a weird, emotional sort of team. Like almost every football team, we get a win. These players start believing in themselves. It creates a bit of optimism. And I guess, you hear Luis Enrique and Arteta, they keep talking about small and fine margins. Maybe that's why I want to do the momentum thing, because maybe that's something that could be in our favor. But bro, I think we're effed either way, man. Maybe even rest Lewis Skelly, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, I don't want to see a lot of players. I don't care if we lose this game. A lot of people, I do care because I'm an Arsenal fan. But if we did lose it and it means everyone's fit for PSG, all good. There's going to have to be a couple of people that play because we haven't got another 11 to put out there, right? Yeah. Raya in goal because Neto can't play because obviously he's in loan from Bournemouth. White right back. I'm going to go with Kivior and Tierney as centre halves. And then
you're going for it, man.
Yeah, left back Zinchenko. Then I'm going in the middle, right, with Partey because he has to. I don't think we've got another option. I don't want to see
and
Rice.
He didn't play in the week. And
then I'm putting Wanyeri and Odegaard together in an 8 and a 10.
Odegaard 8,
Wanyeri 10. And then I'll go with Sterling, Trossard on the wings, and I'll go with that young kid up top. Or you could go with Marino, to be fair. Butler or Deji, or you go with Marino. And then you just go, don't matter about result. Go out there, give it your all. Wednesday's the most important one. Now, people might laugh and go, what? Because we've got to win this Bournemouth game to make sure we get top 4. You're probably right, to be fair. But what I don't want is to go all out against Bournemouth, get a couple of knocks, get a couple of injuries, and now we can't play Rice in the middle, or Partey, he's back from suspension, but he can't play, or on the wing, Saka goes down. I'd be like, no way, Saliba goes down. Can you imagine?
God forbid.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, unless we lose all 4 of our Premier League games, we're going to get Champions League. I don't think we're going to lose all 4. We might lose a couple. Don't get me wrong.
Where's the win coming from, though, Dan, man, with the way we're moving?
That's the question mark. So we're in a real predicament here. It really is all on that Champions League or bust because the league is deflating, bruv. It really is. Now, I might have gone really weak there and people might be screaming at me going, what are you talking about? We've got to go and beat Bournemouth. Yeah, of course we've got to. But we should have enough qualities still, even with the team I put out, to not go and lose 3 or 4-0. We should have the quality. We should be able to give them a game. Whether we win it 1-0, whether we win it 2-1, whether we lose it 2-1 or 1-0, we should have enough quality out there. Sterling needs to step up. Trossard needs to step up. Wanyeri, take your chance. Yeah, Zinchenko, Tierney, take your chance. You're getting the opportunity again now. Whether you're here in the summer or not, put yourself in the shop window with performance that makes somebody want you.
Facts.
That's where I'm at. So I don't want to be seeing anyone getting injured, DG, because that's massively important. But just on the Premier League fixtures, quick, are you worried about this top four thing? That genuinely, because a lot of people have gone, Chris was speaking to me saying, oh my God, we're going to have to really, we're going to struggle here. We've got Bournemouth who we can't beat. We've got Newcastle who have lost all 3 games. We've got Liverpool, Anfield, Southampton. But I think surely with the teams around us, win against Southampton, as long as we don't get thumped by the other 3, surely Champions League football's all right, isn't it?
Dan, that's where I feel a bit weird because I do think we're a shoo-in for top 4. I haven't really necessarily worried. But that being said, indirectly, because we've been dropping points and got 13 draws and whatnot, we've been drawing ourselves out. And as you said earlier, with that run of games and our form, you can't really see where the win's coming. Now, I hope we beat Bournemouth. That would be great. That would, as you kind of been alluding to, confirm stuff. We're a weird side in that no pressure Arsenal. We could lose all the others and beat Liverpool at Anfield finally, or put in some level of performance. If I had to bet money, I would say the Southampton game at St. Mary's. But as you know, that's never really plain sailing for our football club. Even going back to the season, we wore this very kit away from home. That actually was where we dropped points. We are in the top 4 race, man. Like before Liverpool confirmed the league title, we were closer to being in the top 4 race than we was to pip them. So we are in the top 4 race. I do think we're going to win those games. I wouldn't say we're relying on other teams, but like all the other teams that mathematically could leapfrog us and things like that, you're relying on them to drop points. And it raises in question because I think a couple of teams, I'm not sure for Chelsea, but I think we've only got 1 more win than them or something of that ilk or somebody. So it raises in question our performances this season, why we need depth, and ultimately why we shot ourselves in the foot. We are in the top 4 race, and I guess that's probably why indirectly I want us to name our strongest team, or in fact, better yet, I wouldn't say a top 4 race, but we're in danger of slipping into one, really. So, yeah, we are in one, man. That's the reality. We've been complacent, and complacency is a killer. And as we've seen, football's a weird game, man. I don't think we're going to finish outside the top 4, but let's maintain our position. Like, I'm pretty sure I speak for most Arsenal fans. In the grand scheme of things, I don't really care about finishing 2nd or 3rd or 4th because, again, it's the same position. Everybody's celebrating nothing. I know, dependent for the accountants out there, depending on where you finish, there's more money that you get and all of that kind of jazz, but it doesn't matter. But then I'd be a hypocrite because if I say I don't care and we go from 2nd to 3rd, I'm going to be there in the summer. Regardless of if we finish 2nd, I think there's regression. But I'm going to mention the fact that we went from 2nd, where we was holding on to it. We're now 3rd, Champions League this, League and FA Cup that. So let's just maintain our position, man, and just try to win games, man, because that's all it is. Win games for winning games' sake in the league now. Like, it's a write-off, bro. It's a write-off. It's horrible.
It's horrible, and what's even worse is that we could end up miles behind Liverpool if this continues. If this form continues with what we've been drawing games at Everton and Brentford we drew, and all of these games we've drew, I think it's 14 draws now, in fact.
Yeah,
I look
see?
at the scenario. If we keep drawing and keep losing, and we've got to play Liverpool, we can end up being about 23 points behind them, bruv. That's not acceptable. Like, that really ain't. And I understand that circumstances have allowed us to crumble and give up on it a bit, but over my dead body, when's the funeral, bro? Like, let's be real, because
it happened already. Unfortunately,
it's
man,
happened, and it ain't good, man. Which leads me nicely to my last question before we come to a close, bro. This ain't a very nice question to ask, to be honest, and it's probably not a very easy one to answer. But I'll come with you anyway, because I know you're quite straight talking with it. I think there's 2 kind of sides here. There's a side where I think me, Curtis, maybe Turkish, and a couple of others are, which is like, win me this Champions League or I'm done with you. I want a replacement. I want an upgrade. I think you're on a bit of the show last night when we were talking about it as well. There's
what a show that was, man.
Yeah, that was lit, man. There's the other side of the coin as well, though, bruv, where it's like, if he doesn't, I'm happy to give him another year under Andrea Berta because I believe that he can do something. Which side of the coin are you, do you think? Or are you a little bit in the middle where you're still quite like, not sure? Because I think that's a real hard question for some people to answer. I'm very black and white with my stuff, and maybe I'm too so. I just say it how I feel and see it. I think we've given this guy enough time, and if he can't get us across the line, I think we do need to upgrade, and we should be looking now at our next manager. But I don't think they are going to. I think the Cronkies are going to keep him whatever. So sometimes people say, what's the point of the question? But still, we have to ask how we are as fans, right? We still need to understand where we are as a fan base. Do we still believe this is the guy, or are we still not sure? My question marks are that he hasn't done it yet. Now, if he goes and delivers it in a couple of weeks' time and we're Champions League winners, all is forgiven, all is done. We know we've got the guy that can now win, go and do it again. You've now got that winning mentality. This group of team have won something which we've never won before. This is brilliant. If we don't do that, I don't think it's bad for some of the question marks to come out about replacing and upgrading him, DG. But where do you think you're at, bro?
Dan, and this is the problem with cult culture in football. There's no nuances. I think there's a valid reason to be black or white, but it's like even people that want to keep Arteta, if they ask a question about him or why hasn't he done this, you know how the cult kind of thing goes. And even with the other side, for me, I think there's both logical sides, man. I'm quite aligned in the middle. I do think the fact that his new staff have been given new deals, he's gone 15 million a year. Bert has just come in. You know, they can probably hide behind the fact of, despite all the injuries in the summer, we've been to 2 semi-finals and there's no excuse for the Prem and whatnot. And we went out on penalties against United. Those are what they will hide behind. For me, I believe a lot of people at this football club are on borrowed time. Unfortunately, I hear what people say about who we're going to get, next manager, all of this. I don't think that's a reason to keep someone, but I hear that. But at some point, we're going to have to try something different. And it's annoying because I don't think any manager or man is without faults. I do think Arteta has a lot of good qualities. I do think you've done a lot well for us. But getting over the line, every year we do not get over the line. That question gets bigger. You're a good coach, but are you a winning coach? That's where we want to go to. Like you mentioned it at the beginning, all the other teams that are winning and whatnot. I don't think he gets sacked this year. I would have had the mentality in the summer that if you don't get over the line, we need to revisit stuff. And I still maintain that, even though I don't think it's going to happen in the summer. So I guess with Berta, you're just going to have one more year and you've got to win something. You know, I know we're kind of focusing on the Prems and the champs, but you've got to win something. You've got to create a winning legacy. You've got to create some more history for this football club. He's on borrowed time. A lot of these players are on borrowed time. Mikel Arteta is on borrowed time. His coaching staff is on borrowed time. Unfortunately, I know people want to sit there and just blame the board, etc. And by no means am I, and I'm sure Dan the same, a massive fan of the Cronkies or Cronke, whatever. But at the end of the day, they could turn around to us and say, listen, we've broken our transfer record. We've ripped up contracts. We've bought this player. We've done that player. You know how we operate. We get people in and we leave them to their devices. Can you sit here and blame anyone else but ourselves as to why what we've been talking about with the PSG game, or why we've been blown out of the water in the Premier League? You can't. You absolutely can't. And even if you wanted to blame the owners, Mikel Arteta clearly believes he can win something here, because you took the job in the first place. You signed a new deal. So regardless of what you have to say about how the ethos is, you believe you can get over the line. And every year we don't, bro, the question is going to get bigger and bigger. And as I said, you're on borrowed time. The only one above the players that is not on borrowed time to me is Berta, because you've just walked into the place. And I hope maybe, I'm not comparing Arteta to Arsene Wenger or Berta to David Dean, but maybe you could be the David Dean. Like, big up Marino for what he's doing and Kai for what he's done, but we don't need them kind of signings again. You need to get a Gyökeres. You need this one. You need that one. So, yeah. And when it comes to Arteta, Dan, I feel a lot of people that are more Arteta apologists, they kind of like, you can't big up a guy and then have mediocre expectations. It's like Bukayo Saka. If Bukayo Saka doesn't get double figures, we're going to have something to say because he's got the scope. You can't say Arteta's a great man manager, a great tactician, this, that, the third. And then when we lose or don't get over the line, I'm not saying he's fully to blame. But it's everybody but him. It's everybody else's reason. And is it Arsenal FC or Arteta FC? Again, I understand the logic. Who else are we going to get? What's the club going to do? But by that logic, we're not going to get anywhere. What if we lived in a dream world where Arteta won us a Prem, a Champs, multiple competitions, and he said, you know what? I've had enough now. Like Jurgen Klopp, I've had enough. I want to keep it moving. Where are you going there? He's not going to be Arsenal manager forever. I know a lot of Arsenal fans, all we've really known for a lot of people is Arsene Wenger, give or take, with Emre and Lomberger's caretaker and where we're at with Arteta. But change is always required, bro. He's on borrowed time. The summer, everything has to make sense. No more of this false 9 and false centre mids, 6s, 8s, 10s, left wingers, strikers. Let's keep it moving. No more galaxy brain stuff. You're on borrowed time, bro. If you don't win a trophy, I can't disagree with people that want you gone this year. You probably should be gone. If you don't win it next year, you probably need to go. And I don't know when did he sign that deal, Dan? When did he sign his new deal? Like summer last year.
Yes, he's got 3-year deal, hasn't he? So
in this, before me and you know it, he's going to be in the halfway point of that contract. So
yeah,
you're one of the highest paid managers in the world. And yeah, you could turn around and say, boy, I've been managing in the Champions League for 2 years. You know, we did better against Bayern than your previous managers. We're in the semis now, first in 16 years, which is all great. And there's some good talking points. but there's nothing set in stone. There's no history. There's no Arsenal fan that's growing up now, 20 years from now, when they have children, are going to be talking about stuff. As you said at the beginning, United, as much as we don't want to be like Man United, they're finding a way to get it done. Conference League with Chelsea, of course, I don't want to be there. They're getting it done. I don't even want to talk about them lot down the lane and even consider it, but they're potentially in the final. Need to get over the line, Dan, bro. Need to get over the line. And he's on borrowed time now. Like, I don't think Arteta has done enough to say you're just Arteta out forever, or you're just Arteta in, he's my guy no matter what. You haven't earned that credibility. For me, I'm always on upgrading until you get over the line. It's long, Dan, man. It's frustrating.
Look, man, it's time to deliver. And one thing I will say, if we don't win this Champions League and he stays, and Berta sorts him out in this summer, there is literally nowhere to hide. There's no more excuses. You've got your striker you wanted. You've got your attacking midfielder. You've got your winger. You've got your centre-back pairing. You've got your midfield trio now. You've got your backup to each of your positions. This is your team. You've now spent close to $1 billion. Let's go.
Been here 6 years.
Bruv, it's too long for a club this size not to win a trophy. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's thrown these domestic cups in the bin. So they have, that's just, he shit the bed with that. I've got to be honest. If he would have won a couple of League Cups or a couple of FA Cups, we wouldn't be running around doing cartwheels. But at the same time, we'd be saying at least this team's won something. At least he can
get into finals, bro.
Bruv, this is my problem. He's got to get across the line, man. But look, people, we're going to leave it there. Big up to every single one of you that's here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And big up to Deluded, man. What you got coming up, bro?
Later today, I'm gonna go over Mikel Arteta's press conference, kind of just have a bit of a laugh and a joke with the subscribers, and just go over like the talking points and whatnot. And I've watched the PSG game again, so I've provided a bit of a tactical analysis of sorts. And yeah, tomorrow it's Arsenal Bournemouth watch along, and then all eyes turn towards Wednesday, man. So yeah, like yourself, always making content, Dan, man. I'll be locked into the panels and whatnot on the platform, man. Gonna go rewatch the one last week, because last night I didn't watch it all.
Oh man, nah, come on, bro. Always got time for you, man. You're working unbelievably hard. So make sure you show Deluded some love.
Appreciate it.
His channel's in the title. All you got to do is click it. Go subscribe. Let's get him up to 100K. The guy's working harder than anyone. So let's make sure that we do that.
Nah, not yourself, man. But I'm running you close.
Oh man, we're similar, man. We're similar. Come on. Yeah, you
always
had
midfielders like us.
Every time I'm on YouTube, you're on live as well, man. So it's what it is.
True.
But show some love, man. And listen. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let's get us up to 40K people. And we'll see you next time on the next one. We're out of here, people. Laters.